cracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
The views and opinions expressed on Trudging Together are solely those of the host, co-host, and our guests. They do not necessarily reflect the views of any organization, fellowship, or other entity, and definitely not your boss, your neighbor, or that one guy in your home group. The content of this program is not intended to replace medical, psychological, or professional advice. If you're looking for that, please seek guidance from qualified professionals who spent way too many years in school. What you'll hear here is based on lived experience, recovery journeys, and the occasional bad coffee-fueled joke. Trudging Together is not affiliated with any 12-step fellowship. We are simply people sharing our stories and walking this path together, one day at a time. Thank you for joining us, and remember, recovery is serious business, but that doesn't mean we can't laugh along the way.
Sober Wednesday. It's Wednesday. Here we are. Sober. Hopefully in a little bit of recovery too. But sober is a good place to start, ain't it? Oh no, I got mixed feelings this morning. I don't know. It's really a hard day. It's a decent day. Just sometimes I think about stuff going on, and it makes things a little disparaging. I'll give you kind of some of the stuff that I go through in this field, because I've never been treated worse in any field that I've ever been in, ever. And this is supposed to be a field of inclusivity. Everybody's welcome. That's not true. It used to be that way, but it doesn't work that way anymore. It's more of a popularity contest now. It's kind of sad. There's a lot of people out there suffering through toxic positivity. A few years back, I was doing a little bit of outreach for a particular place. I went through this place called the Phoenix Concept. Now, it was it was a halfway house for homeless alcoholics. That's what it was. And we had a building. We had a big pile of beans down in the basement. We had beans for pretty much breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We'd have to really boil the crap out of that because of all the rats and the mice stuff going through it. I'm not kidding. A lot of rice, donations. And what we used to do is we used to make piggy banks and plaques. In fact, I still have some of those piggy banks and plaques that I used to make back then. And then those would go out for donation. We would have events. We'd have a dance once a month. We had speaker meetings, things like that. And guess what we were? We were self-supporting through our own contributions. This was a true sober living. We were working on being reintegrated back into life. They would teach skills, things like that. And do you know how much government money we took? None. Zero. Nada. Nilch. In fact, the whole point was not to take government money. I understood the concept. It's a concept I use today. Now, eventually, the man that started that, his name is Ray Hayworth. I don't know how this happened, but eventually a place called Sobriety House ended up buying the Phoenix Concept. The Sobriety House is a government-run program. Now, we'll get to a couple years ago when I went to go do some outreach for Sobriety House, because I was one of the first alumni through the original Phoenix Concept, the original one. The one now is it's a waste of time, money, and effort. It's not even in the same location, which takes away from everything. You know how we got our clients? We opened the front door. I'm not kidding. We opened the front door. They would come walking in. That's how we got new people. We were on Skid Row. They literally stumbled in through the front door, and then we would help them. It worked. It worked really great. We had 20 beds there. Worked as a group. Nobody ever fought. Like there were arguments and stuff, but there were never any like physical fights, drag out things. The cops weren't there all the time. No, none of that chicanery happened. So don't sit here and tell me how things need to be done when I know exactly how they need to be done. I'm a little frustrated by that. Watching all these people running around, right? So I went to the recovery rally. Okay. Oh, wait, I didn't finish the other story. All right. So I'm doing, and I was doing stuff for Club Trudge too at the time. Right. I'm like, I'll support Sobriety House while I'm there. And I got some stuff from 'em, things like that. And then they were like, hey, would you like to start doing the podcast for some of the alumni and stuff? I'm like, I'd like to. We were moving forward. And then guess what happened? Silence. Silence. I'd even warned them about working with certain people. And before I knew it, they were working with these people and they decided they just didn't want to talk to me anymore. That's how they work. That is not very professional in my book. And yes, it's kind of pissing me off today. All right. Now, okay, this is the way that they do shit. And I shit you not. I went to the recovery rally a couple weeks ago, and that outreach person was there. And I went walking up straight to her. And I said, I already know a lot about Sobriety House. I was an original member of the Phoenix concept. Now, I've tried to do something with you before, but your outreach person wasn't very kind to me. In fact, they cut off all communication, and to this day, I still don't, and I still wonder why. And it was that girl. It was the same person, and she sat there and acted like she didn't know me. She didn't do a very good job of it either. That's exactly how they do shit in this field. Avoidance. Can't take accountability. Now, if a person can't take accountability on that, do you want them to be your outreach person? God, we have got wrong people in wrong areas. Copa straight lied to my face last week. The executive director of Copa. Wow. There's collusion. Drives me crazy. And sometimes I wonder if people are listening. You know, I know people are listening, but you know what I'm saying. All right. It's gonna be hard to switch a gear from being a little pissy about that. That and it's Wednesday. I don't really want to go do the meeting because there's nobody there to support me, man. And I'm tired of doing it. I'm tired of doing everything alone. So just one of those days, I guess. I'll get through it. I'm not gonna do any work today though. I was supposed to take Monday off. I didn't do that, so I'm gonna do it today. Going and running a meeting, I don't consider work. That's good morning, Angel. Good to see you. You know what time it is? Now we got to switch to jokes. All right, we'll do it. Did you hear about the circus fire? Yeah, it was intense. Intense. Tense. Tense. Like circus tents. Intense. How do you catch a squirrel? Climb a tree and act like a nut. Yeah. Did you hear about the guy who invented lifesavers? They say he made a mint. I told my wife she could embrace her mistakes. She gave me a hug. That was not bad. Why don't egg why don't eggs tell jokes? They might crack up. I said hi, didn't I, Michelle? Okay. Or are you just telling me to have a good morning? Don't tell me what to do. I'm just kidding. Hey, have a good morning. Don't tell me what to do. I'm kidding. Welcome to the Daily Trudge. I'm trying to lighten up some. Welcome to the Daily Trudge. Dion, host, most, Donnie Post. If you tell me who Donnie Post is, I'll give you a round of applause. If you're here, please say hello, whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. What show was Donnie Post on? And you will win a round of applause from Dion. Okay, you can even name the show, and I'll give it to you. Donnie Post. All right. Lest we become complacent, we know we're going to be talking about laurels today. And people tend to get this part mixed up. Hey, I'll try not to sound mean or angry about it. Page 85. Page 85. Yep, 85. Or is that 83? That's 85. Clearly, somebody needs to get glasses. Michelle wins the prize. He was on Happy Days. He was Ralph Mouth. All right. All right. And I bet she didn't even use Google. See, we Gen Xers and older, we used to have to memorize a lot of stuff, and we're used to it. We used to have to memorize phone numbers, all right, addresses, also directions. You'd have to memorize a lot of stuff, man. All right. Now it's all lazy. Oh, I just look it up. You don't even bother to try and memorize it because you know you can access the information. You got to be careful about this, right? Because if you use that kind of lackadaisical attitude towards your recovery, you're gonna get drunk. All right. So we are going to start at the middle of page 84, right after the 9th step promises. This stop brings us to step 10. Oh, guess what month it is? It is the 10th month. So now we're going to switch into step 10 this month, which suggests that we continue to take personal inventory and continue to set right any new mistakes as we go along. It would probably, Donnie Most. You are correct. Donnie Most. Yes, you are correct. I remember it being on the screen Donnie Most, but he may have gone by Don later. Right. Good morning, Amber. First day of Halloween. Tell me a spooky joke. I already did jokes. And I can't think of a Halloween joke, but if you want to tell one, Amber, you go for it. So, if I can think of one, I will tell it. So now we are going to set right any new mistakes as they go along. Why do we get to do this? Because we've cleared away the past. The past no longer there. All right. I mean, it's there. We access it when we need it, but otherwise, where does it stay? It stays in the past. Huh. Well, with what I was just talking about, heck, that happened. Some of those things happened 2 years ago. Do I need to let those things sit in the past? See, there's an advocation here. Okay. What needs to be left in the past on that is my anger, which is clearly kind of still there, huh? Yeah, it's there. I'm not going to deny it. All right. So what am I going to do with that anger? That's what it comes down to then. Then what am I going to do with that? Well, I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to call my friend Mark, who we've been trying to get a hold of each other for a few days. I'm going to get ready. I'm going to go do the meeting. Other than that, I have no big plans. I was thinking about writing an email to somebody, but I don't even know that I'm going to put my time into that today. In a way, I just kind of want to fade out of the whole thing and just do my own thing, being discreet about it. I don't want to be involved in all that. That's why what I'm setting up, it also will not be taking any funding from the government. No. Look what happened. They became dependent on the government money. Just in this case, like what we're talking about, I became too dependent on my own thought process, on my ways, my ideals, which clearly were not working. So I needed a new set, right? I needed a way to put that in there because clearly I went off topic. All right. We vigorously commenced this way of living as we cleaned up the past. We have entered the world of spirit. Our next function is to grow in understanding and effectiveness. This is not an overnight matter, nor is it easy to do. Because what are we trying to understand? We're trying to understand what people are going through. We're trying to understand how religious people are right. We're trying to see things for what they are now and not how we think we should perceive them. So we start working with the truth. All right. There's a good one. Amber, I'm supposing this is a joke. I'm trying to get into the Halloween spirit without getting into the spirits. a good one. I take it you made that up too. It's not an overnight matter. It should continue for a lifetime. See, we need to be able to thrive for as long as we can. And the AA program will do it. Look at me. I'm always busy, huh? Or at least it seems that way. I usually am. And it's because of this right here, right? So continue to watch for selfishness, dishonesty, resentment, and fear. All right, so let's take those and let's put it into the problem that I was just talking about. Now, why did I get upset? Because they decided they wanted to go work with other people than me, even though these people had no ethics and commit Medicaid fraud. That's why it ticked me off. So, yeah, all right. So, what is that? Well, that's selfish. Was I dishonest? No, I was probably a little too honest. And there's a fear in there. Fear that it's not going to happen the way that I would like it to happen, even though I know it's the right way. It's still a fear, right? So it still exists. And we've got to be honest with ourselves about these things. Yes, I will sit here and confront myself on stuff. It's part of what I do. I'm a human being human, right? If I can't sit here and work through these things with you and be a good example, then I might as well just go ahead and shut the whole thing down. Because what would be the point? What would be the point? If I can't sit here and work through a problem, then there would be no point in me even doing any of this, right? Amber said, got it from Google. She just added the word Halloween. See, we can be honest. We can be honest. And he's like, no, I didn't make that up. I got it from Google. Or before when I was drinking, but take credit for that shit, you know. So she made one up herself. I'm here for the booze, not the booze. All right. When these crop up, we ask God to remove them at once to remove them. So what am I going to do right now? God, save me from being angry. Thy will, not mine, be done. Now, I'm going to need to put action into it. So let's get back to this. Let's put some action into that now. That action is going to be helping someone else, hopefully. And that is how we do it. And I may have to do that a couple times today. Okay. But did you see the thought process I kind of went through? Now, did I get angry over that part? Nah, I'm used to confronting myself. I know that I'm wrong often, and it's okay. It's all right. I'm all right with that because I'm willing to correct it and go towards the right way. I'm willing to do that. We discuss them with someone immediately and make amends if we have harmed anyone. Oh, where was I? I was here talking to you guys about it because it was on my mind this morning. I was feeling a little injustice, and I felt the need to bring justice. No, it was a resentment. Yeah. Funny how things are different once they come out of your mouth. All right. Now, I didn't do anything, so I do not own amends, so I'm good there. Then we resolutely turn our thoughts to someone we can help. Love and tolerance of others is our code. So see, I did this whole thing right here, right in front of you. It is that simple. Okay. Now, I have practiced that a lot. Okay. And no, it still isn't easy. I might make I'm making it look easy, but that's because I've done it a lot. But to sit here in front of other people and do that could be kind of embarrassing. You could use that shit against me. People don't. And I appreciate that. Thank you, by the way. You know, and that's why I'm a little vulnerable, a little transparent. But see, I've settled these things. So even if you gave me shit about it, wouldn't it? I mean, I'd still have the same outcome. Well, then I just have to 10-step your ass after I booted you from the room. That might be my 10-step. All right. And this is the part. Oh, man. It's hard. And we have ceased fighting anything or anyone, even alcohol. Advocacy can turn into fighting very quickly. Very quickly. And I'm talking about me. My advocacy can turn into fighting very quickly, and I have to watch it. That's what's been on my mind a lot lately. Like, Dion, is this advocacy or is it anger? Which one is it? For by this time sanity will have returned, we will seldom be interested in liquor. If tempted, we recoil from it as from a hot flame. We react sanely, and normally we will find this happen automatically. I don't recoil like a hot flame. No. But I do. I don't do it. I react namely. Here, I'll put it this way. When I go somewhere, alcohol is not a factor. I don't care whether there's going to be alcohol there or not. That's not the factor. No. The question is, am I going to bring more harmony or confusion? That's the question. Because alcohol it's a non-entity for me at this point. I just don't want it anymore. It's a choice, but it's not a choice I want. Okay. You know, I also have the choice to drink apple cider vinegar. I ain't gonna do that either. Hey, but this is nasty. All right, we'll see our new attitude toward liquor has been given us without any thought or effort on our part. It just comes. That's the miracle of it. Yep. That's the next line. That's the miracle of it. It's a miracle. You're going to turn around one day and you're going to be like, I haven't thought about alcohol at all today. Even though you're thinking about it right then. Man, I haven't thought about it. I don't feel like drinking. The biggest weight that you have is lifted off of you. Now, in order to keep that, you're going to need to do some work. In order to keep the grace of God, because that's what that is. It is the grace of God. And what is the grace of God? Grace is an unearned gift. That is the definition of it. So you're going to have to earn the rest. You have to earn the rest. You don't just get it. He's not going to just hand it to you. No, you're going to have to earn it. You're going to have to work towards it. Okay? So God lifted the biggest weight that you have so you could move forward. And if that isn't love, I don't know what is. Angel says, I definitely recoil, especially when it's unexpected. Someone even said, you're recoiling, LOL. Yeah, but you go to the bar a lot and because of your band. So, see, I'm not in the position as much. That's why. Now, there was one time I was at a club. I used to go dancing a lot. And my friend got me a drink, brought it back, and it was Jack and Coke. And I definitely recoiled. I spit that thing out immediately. You know, thank God it was a club. Nobody really noticed. I just sprayed all over the dance floor. All right. We feel as though we've been placed in a position of neutrality, safe and protected. And that can feel pretty darn good. Might even be a little too much. But it is. I remember the first time I finally felt safe. Not safe from everything outside. Safe from me. Me. I finally felt safe being around me. I scared me. I put myself in a lot of positions I did not deserve to be in. Okay. We have not even sworn off. That's the great thing. You don't have to swear off. You just don't have to drink again. Right? Instead, the problem has been removed. It does not exist for us. We are neither cocky nor are we afraid. That is our experience. That is how we react, so long as we keep in fit spiritual condition. Now, listen to this. We are neither cocky nor are we afraid. So when I hear people run around saying, I got this licked, and they're cocky about it, right? Okay, mister, you have a week. I have a week, and man, this is yeah, it happens. Sure, it's the pink cloud, and it feels great, but don't get cocky about it. Sometimes I hear people saying, "Oh yeah, I went walking down the liquor aisle today. God tested my sobriety." Now you did that. God did not ask you to go down the liquor aisle. Whenever I go to 7-Eleven or whatever, there it's 80% alcohol there. Yeah, I know. I actually go to liquor stores for ice. They have the best ice, chewable ice. I like to chew ice. I haven't been able to chew ice for like a month. So, well, I got the tooth pulled and then I had a lot of pain for a while. It's still there. When I drink something cold, it hurts bad. So, yeah. But I got to get my toe taken care of first. And one thing at a time. All right. So now we're getting to the reading today. Now, with all that said, let's remember everything that we were just talking about. Okay. So it is easy to let up on the spiritual program of action and rest on our laurels. It is. I said it yesterday. I'll keep saying it. It's always easier to skip the second meeting. That's a laurel. All right. Okay. You do 90 meetings in 90 days. There's 2 requirements there. Right. Now, if you do 90 meetings in 30 days, you still have another requirement to meet. This would be called resting on your, oh, okay, I got my 90 in. What's next? No, you still got 2 more months to go. 90 meetings and 90 days. Why do we say in? It's and. 90 meetings and 90 days. I don't know why people say in. Because now you're giving an alcoholic direction. Okay. And then they're going to think see it? No. 90 and 90. 90 and 90. Oh, I did 2 meetings today, so I don't need to go to one tomorrow. No, that's resting on your laurels. This is the definition of resting on your laurels. Taking yesterday's success today. That's the definition of it. Today's a new day. I go to bed a recovered alcoholic and I wake up a hopeless, helpless drunk. It happens every 24 hours. It's a day at a time. I haven't slept in today. So that means if you got up before 10:15 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, you got more sobriety than me. Huh. Now, if you're willing to take that, then you can't rest on your laurels. You're not allowed to have both of those. You got to have every day is a day where you need to have a success. It doesn't need to be huge. You just need to have one. And you need to put your intentions towards that. Action. You have to have action. Today, I'm like, I don't really feel like doing anything. And I'm not really going to do anything. I'm going to go run the meetings. I'll be at the 5 o'clock. See, I'm not resting on my laurels. What I'm probably going to do is power wash some of my backyard and just relax and be in nature a little bit instead of worrying about what's going on with the world. That's why. Yeah. For Dion, because Dion, that's the thing. It's about you and what you're going through, right? The big book doesn't have anything on 90 meetings. No, it doesn't. So I had to Google and it says 90 meetings in 90 days. Well, good for Google. Google also has a lot of things wrong, right? So you could either believe Google or the guy with like 25 years of experience. It's up to you. I'm being an ass. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I did not mean to be an ass. Okay. I've always heard in and 90 and 90. So I'm telling that's what I'm saying. There we go. See, that's another great way to put it. My sponsor suggests do a meeting a day till you're at least on step 11, which is usually around 90 days. Yeah. Not me. It took me over a year to do the steps, but on average, yeah. See, that's a lot of great ways to put it. Okay. What are we doing? Why 90 and 90? I wasn't offended. I was just kind of being a jerk, Amber. I wasn't offended. I was just kind of being maybe I was offended. So yeah. I didn't mean to be. Don't get offended. Read the next part. I said Google is an AA in the same message. You don't have to be a dick. She didn't say dick. I added that. All right. So 90 and 90. Why are we trying to do that? As we want you to get the consistency in. Having a home group. You go to meetings like you used to drink. We want that consistency is what's going on. And what's the big one? Accountability. A lot of accountability in that, right? So we're headed for trouble if we do, for alcohol is a subtle foe. We are not cured of alcoholism. What we really have is a daily reprieve contingent on the maintenance of our spiritual condition. Every day is a day when we must carry vision of God's will into all activities. How can I best serve thee? Thy will, not mine, be done. These are thoughts which must go with us constantly. We can exercise our willpower along this line all we wish. It is the proper use of the will. Proper use of the will. So, even this morning I was watching a thing with Robin Williams. He was talking about his sobriety, and he was saying it doesn't matter really what the decision is. It's always best to have somebody in your corner that you can trust, that can help you give direction, that you can say stuff to, and they'd be like, well, I'm not sure it really works that way and stuff. So, yeah. All right. So lest we become complacent, when I'm in pain, it is easy to stay close to the friends I have found in the program. Relief from that pain is provided in the solutions contained in the AA's 12 steps. But when I am feeling good and things are going well, I can become complacent. To put it simply, I become lazy and turn into the problem instead of the solution. I need to get into action to take stock where I am and where am I going. A daily inventory will tell me what I must change to regain spiritual balance, admitting what I find within myself to God and to another human being keeps me honest and humble. All right, that's going to be it for this one. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciate it. I love you. You know I do. Peace out. And